In this video, we're going to talk about 3 things you don't need to start your graphic design career this year. So this video is just a little bit different for this year. I want to start doing more than just tutorials on software. I've shown you guys the basics of Illustrator, so if you're looking to see more stuff like that, stick around. I'm still going to do those videos, but I also want to talk about the career aspect part of being a graphic designer. Now, I know a lot of people talk about the things that you have to do or the must-dos or the must-haves of whatever it is they're talking about. I thought it'd be better because I want to put a positive spin on this, but these are 3 things that a lot of people really fixate on, and I think it's holding them back. So you're probably seeing a bunch of cat hair on me now. I've tried. I lit rolled twice today. We have 2 cats. It just doesn't get any better if you want to wear black. Okay, so point number 1, an education. Now, when I say education, what I'm talking about is a formal education. You don't need to go to a university or college anymore. It used to be the case that you would have to go and spend your 2 years or 4 years to get your diploma or get your degree in order to be able to call yourself a graphic designer. That's no longer the case. Now, when I started as a graphic designer, and this is going back 20 years, there wasn't any schools that really focused on graphic design degrees, or even web design degrees for that matter. The web was a thing, internet design was a thing, but there weren't any local schools I could go to become a graphic designer. So I had to start on my own. Schooling is an option. Schooling is always an option. So if you just don't have kind of the ability to sort of police yourself or set your own schedule, you feel that a curriculum is something that you really have to have, then by all means, go to school, get your diploma, get your degree, do whatever you have to do. But I'm just saying that with YouTube, Skillshare, Udemy, I don't know, it's one of those. And now the new LinkedIn Learning, you have so many different options. Now, those aren't the only options you've got. You've also got people that have their own websites and are putting their own training sessions on their websites. One of the best examples I can think of for this is Chris Do. He has a whole set of courses available on everything from typography to logo design to web design. You can basically go through a whole curriculum and come out of it with a damn good set of skills that you're going to be able to market and start picking up clients with. Number 2 is a top-of-the-line Mac or PC. I see a lot of designers posting in the Facebook groups that I belong to asking about, will this computer work? Will this PC work? Will this laptop work? Are these specs good enough? I'm running a MacBook Air 13-inch 2012 edition, mid-2012 edition. I picked it up for $600 used. It was a couple of years old at the time, and it still runs everything that I need it to run. Now, of course, you're going to have to make some little adjustments. I mean, you're not going to be able to run Photoshop and Illustrator at the same time if you buy something like this, but you should be able to run one program at a time. So if you're working in Illustrator on a logo, you're going to work in Illustrator on a logo. That's my first computer. My second computer that I'm using here in the shop or in the studio that I do all of my editing on, that I run basically my whole business from, is a Mac Mini. And this one, I have to double check, but I believe it's a 2011 Mac Mini. I've put it up to 8 gigs of RAM. I just upgraded to a solid state drive. I just upgraded to a solid state drive on it this year, which has helped speed it up a little bit, but it's more just accessing programs and my boot time than it has for doing things like rendering video or anything like that. So before we move on to number 3, let's talk about that really quick. Now, everything that I'm talking about here is for being a graphic designer. So that includes things like business card design or doing logo design. You can include web design on this stuff. I mean, these systems that I'm running, I did web design on. That's not an issue. But if you're looking to get into videography and starting to really be serious about being sort of a video editor, or you're going to be doing stuff like this with the YouTube channel, you may want to look at getting something a little bit newer, a little bit more advanced with a good graphics card in it, some decent RAM. So I mean, the 8 gigs that I've got in my system is great for most of what I'm doing, but it is a little bit slow when I start to get into things like rendering video. So number 3 is social media. And what I mean by social media, what I'm trying to say here is that you don't need a huge social media following to be a graphic designer. There's graphic designers out there that are earning a living that don't have any accounts. I know a couple that never post online, they don't put their work up, and they're doing stellar. They're making a living at this. They're full-time freelance designers that have never focused on social media. So don't think that you have to have a social media following to make it as a graphic designer. What I recommend, especially when you're first getting started, focus on 1 or 2 social media accounts and use them to build a following that is going to help you be a better designer. So don't go out there and just follow a ton of other designers. Follow designers that you can actually engage with. Follow designers that are going to give you feedback on your work, not just a pat on the back. Big mistake that I see a lot of designers making when they're looking at other designers' work on Instagram, on Dribbble, on all these other social media accounts, even if the work is subpar, they're doing the whole pat on the back. Hey, great work, love this, excellent. 2 thumbs up, flames. Stop doing that. As a new designer, you should be looking to build a thicker skin. You should be looking to get feedback and critique on your work and get better. Make sure that you're actually asking designers for feedback on your work, not just a rating. That's another big thing that I see is, hey, rate my work out of 10. Okay, 4. This doesn't help you grow as a designer. When you put something on social media and you're actually looking for feedback, ask for the feedback. But if you're gonna ask for the feedback, make sure you're open to that feedback and you're willing to take it. Keep in mind, feedback on your work, it's not a personal attack on you. It's not a reflection of you as a human being or as an individual or even as a designer. It's a reflection of you as a designer right now at this very moment. So the designers that can actually take that feedback, learn from it, make the next piece better, and keep repeating that process are the ones that are going to become stellar graphic designers. All right, designers, so that's it for this one. I hope these 3 tips really help you out. If you're just getting started, keep them in mind. You don't have to have a fancy education, a top-of-the-line computer, or a huge following on social media to become a good graphic designer. Now get out there and design something, and I'll see you in the next one. I don't even know if you can see that that's C3PO in that lamp. I don't know.